Hey! We're back at Danny's house, and
Hey guys.
you are going to show us your top 10 favorite items from a dollar store.
My favorite part, I think, of this hobby is finding ways to make it cheaper and more convenient and more organized. And so I've kind of fallen in love with the dollar store and Goodwill and a few other various small stores like that. But today we're going to focus on my dollar store items. I could honestly probably do 10 things videos about the dollar store, but we're going to pick around 10 today.
And then we will follow up with a Goodwill
Yes,
video as well,
We'll do a Goodwill.
where you can find awesome things like that.
Yes.
But that's next video.
Like that, like that, like that. Like that.
Stuff's everywhere. All right, so let's start here. What do we got here?
Okay, so I've got a lot of tanks now, and so food has become quite the thing. I like to feed a variety, and I hate when it's all over the house and you can't find what you want. So this has evolved as I've gotten more tanks and more fish. It's gotten bigger. I started with one from the dollar store, and then I actually found this. It was like an after Easter sale, and I think it was for like an Easter basket type thing. So now it's my little food caddy.
That's a great idea, because I'm always, you've been to my fish room. You know I got fish all over the place, or fish food.
I've already got it in the works for when I do Bob's fish room. We're doing a little beautifying, and I've gotten him a few things like this. So you'll see that soon. The other aspect of food that I struggle with is now that I've got so many tanks, I have to get food in like bulk. And this doesn't really work for my caddy, and it also really doesn't work. I hate having to kind of take a whole lid off every single time, sticking my hands in there when it's going to be a while before I use it up. So I actually got these at the dollar store. They're just basically like your pizza topping shakers, like a Parmesan and a red pepper flake, but I've got like, these are the Tetracolor granules. These are extreme, they're spirulina flake. And then I have
I've
another
never tried
one.
those.
Yeah, I have another one out in the pond, which is their krill flake. But these are great because I can just kind of sprinkle them over a tank.
And where do you get that extreme fish food?
Like so, at Aquarium Co-op.
Shameless plug.
Yes, we could do 10 things from there too, because
Oh, yeah.
outside of my deals, I go to where the quality is, and that's definitely Aquarium Co-op.
All right, so I'm actually curious about what you got over here and these like baby bottle
Oh,
things.
another thing.
Squirters. I don't even know what these are.
So I like to work,
Yeah, and they're durable.
and they're durable. They're plastic. I got these at the dollar store. I feed a lot of the frozen cubes of food, like brine and bloodworms and stuff, and got lots of tanks to go around. I started with kind of I got this at the dollar store, just a basic turkey baster in a cup. I would melt them down in some water and syringe a little bit, but it's not very accurate, and especially with manos, it does too much. And I also have cats, and you leave something on the counter, a cat is gonna knock it over. So I found this idea. Basically, this is Daphnia and some brine shrimp. So, like lovely,
Not live.
lovely brown. No, not live. Frozen cubes. So I melted them down, and it's perfect because these dollar store ones have a nice wide
Let's squirt some.
mouth to it, basically, which allows even bloodworms to come out. But this is Daphnia, so I'm not going to do too much. But these are the blue Moscow guppies. Hopefully we can get some out here to the front. They're all gonna hide.
Oh, here they come. I'm getting them.
But this way I can just kind of go around.
Yeah, when you get into the multiple tank syndrome,
And with the
whatever
nanos,
you can do to save time.
you know, it's either like I can control the drops much more accurately than I used to. You know, I've got a small space here, so being able to kind of get around and behind things.
By the way, if you've never seen the fish room tour of this place, I'll
yes.
link a video of it. No, I'm just going to post a card up here in the corner somewhere.
Yes, I think it's been about 4 or 5 months now.
Maybe.
We've done a lot.
A little bit has
4 or 5
changed,
months.
but
Yeah, a little bit has changed. I'm actually breaking down tanks in here kind of right now because we've got the fish shed going in the ponds. So starting that conversion, but I'm going to miss my tent. But
all right, so what about this thing here behind you? Here, I'll take that.
thank you. One of my all-time favorite things about the dollar store is their 1,000 different types of containers and buckets and strainers, and I love these. I think it's almost like a fryer basket, but they hang on the side of the tank, and they work either like when I am needing to separate a beta fish or an aggressive fish out, or there's an injured fish and I just want it to have its own privacy, or like in this tank where we've got babies, they can swim through it, and then there's plants in there to kind of something.
Yeah, that would be
cool to
great
hang
for
out
an
with.
injured fish. A lot of people don't have room for quarantine tanks.
I've
So
used
there
it
you
for
go.
1,000 different things, and I'm constantly looking for some of different sizes too. So
I love that it just sits right on the edge too.
yeah, actually I got these for the 125 originally, and there's a really good flow in that tank, so it would blow it all over the place. So rather than like the buckets and bowls over here, I needed something that I could kind of anchor to the side. This is another option I got for that same thing, that I could anchor it on the side, but it doesn't have holes. So this is
Yeah,
great.
make it a little harder to filter.
Yeah, when I'm getting in new fish and I just have like small nano fish, I'll strain them out, I'll put them in this bowl, and I'll temperature acclimate them inside the tank, and again, hang it on the side. And buckets galore.
This is going to be 10 things right here, 10
10
buckets.
things, 10 different buckets. I use them all the time for various different things. When I get new fish in, I actually use these type of buckets to catch the water. And rather than a net, which I constantly have falling in the bucket, I use strainers, and these ones fit perfectly. So I can dump a bag of fish, nice, not dump, but nice and gently. And
Toss
most
'em in.
fish don't fall through this size strainer, which works out great, and it's nice and stable. So the old water goes through, and this actually works. I can quickly lift it off, put it in its new tank, and it can sit there for a second and kind of get used to it, or I can release them. And these also work as the strainer option. I use them in some of the bigger tanks if I don't necessarily need to worry about them blowing around.
Yeah, you could also line that with like styrofoam and let it just float around
Right, yeah.
as well.
And I think in one tank over there, it's actually kind of a hide. It's upside down, and they like to hang out in it, so I'm just letting it go.
Yeah, another fry hide.
Yeah, and lots of buckets. or bowls for basically if I'm moving fish out of a tank into a new tank, or getting in a new order of fish. I like to kind of look at the fish on a white background, and I like these flexible buckets to kind of nicely and gently, dump either the fish or the water out.
So you got the bigger flex.
Yes. Got more buckets. Since it comes in 2 colors, I use these as like first aid or hospital ones, so contaminated
Red
stuff.
equals bad.
Yeah, red equals bad. These ones stay separate. And then flexible ones, again, I love that these are the white color, so I can see what I'm getting, and super flexible to be able to kind of dump into a tank and dump the
Yeah, that's
excess
one of the issues
water
I
out.
have is, they don't fit.
Yeah, and it takes up a lot of room, but
Now talk about the strainers you just put in there.
Oh,
or whatever that
I
is.
forgot. So many things in my hands.
We've got so many items here. This is more than 10.
So fish that jump, if you put them into a bowl, like if you're going to move them or transfer, I've had some fish jump out. So these are actually frying pan covers, and they fit perfectly in these in particular, but also the white bowls down there, and they just help to kind of keep them in if I need to walk away for a second, or usually I'm doing a couple different fish at the same time because I like to overdo it in one go.
Well, see, the nice thing about like what I would use that for is because I don't temperature acclimate fish in the tank since my whole room is heated, so I could just put them in there and put the top on and temperature acclimate them.
Exactly, that's kind of how it is in here too. I don't have to do that too much, so I'll just actually set out these bowls on the ground, and it stays about 80 degrees in here, especially right now, so it works out great. But when I took fish into the tubs outside, just to make sure they stayed in here on the way over, I did this. So lots and lots of buckets.
All right, so next I want to look at this bucket of stuff here.
This bucket of stuff. So everyone who has a fish room, or lots of fish tanks, or even one fish tank, I guess, you know how messy it can be. So part of keeping, I think also keeping passion for the hobby is having clean and organized. I think it helps keep you motivated, and so I'm big on keeping up on that stuff. But I got all of this at the dollar store.
So one thing I like, just so I can get some of my
Yeah.
voice on camera time here, is these things here. Because one, I think these are like $8 or $10 at a fish store or on
Yes.
Amazon, unless they're on like super sale.
Yep.
But I've never even thought of looking for something like this.
Yeah, so I got two, and these are for cleaning tanks. So one, I can put a little bit of bleach water in, and for like when I'm sanitizing or breaking down
taking
a
down a
tank,
tank.
or cleaning, a used tank. And then the other one I got to either put like, hydrogen peroxide or a little bit of vinegar for a lighter clean, maybe a tank that's kind of more in use. So that's what that's for. Glass, because as of about a half an hour ago, I overfilled a tank. Sometimes it's nice just to scrape it off. And also when I clean them. Towels, terry towels for cleaning up the mess. I get those at the dollar
A buck
store.
a piece? Man, I buy those at like auto parts store. I'm way overpaying.
Way overpaying. It's the dollar store, so it's not the thickest plastic buckets or the nicest terry towels, but it's $1. And this is
Well,
the
it's
fish
what,
room.
you get what you expect. Like
Yeah,
last
it's a
time I
pack
was
of
there,
them for $1.
yeah, last time I was there, they had steaks, and I'm like, dollar steaks? I don't think so.
Right. It's insane. So yeah, the stuff that you need to kind of keep this thing going, yeah, I definitely hit up the dollar store. All these accessories when you're working with fish need cleaning. Towels when you're done using them need cleaning, so you can get bleach at the dollar store, which is nice.
So do we have anything in the fish room currently in use?
Usually on a Friday night, I would be in here hanging out, de-stressing from the work week and doing water changes and watching YouTube. I actually
Watching my channel, right?
watching your channel, your live streams, catching up. I actually got these at the dollar store, and it's just a little cell phone stand so that I can kind of be back here doing my thing and watch my TV, so to speak. What else is in use in here?
I don't know. You're talking about some clips. I want to know what clips you're using.
Oh, clips. Fish rooms
Oh.
need clips.
Yes.
And so these are actually garden clips, but I get them, they have garden supplies at the dollar store. And I like that they're nice and wide because like if you need to clamp
Yeah.
on an airline hose, like I've got airline hose discharge hoses into the drain system, these don't necessarily pinch it.
Man, I
And
can think
then-
of 1,000 uses for those.
For really heavy duty ones that you need to good grip, I've got those. And the tent makes great utility for that.
Well, it would have been fun to actually go to the dollar store, but with all the restrictions and
Yeah,
everything, maybe
you wouldn't be able to hear us through our masks
make
on our
it-
cool new mics.
it'd be difficult.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time we make the Goodwill video, we'll actually be able to go there because that would be cool to find stuff like live.
Yeah, that would be cool. And like, there's things I need that I haven't gone and got. There's different good dollar stores have different materials. This is another part of my cleaning kit, especially in a small little space. I use this a lot, like the tank I broke the other day.
We won't mention that.
We won't mention that. But yeah, so another use for the buckets. Broken tank.
No,
He
the
is
fish
now in
tank.
a temporary home until I finish his replacement. He was out of it at the time I was cleaning, so.
Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Saving Money.
Of saving money, utilizing the dollar store to help your fish keeping hobby.
And what should everyone do?
Everybody should subscribe,
I had to think
should
about it.
like, should comment, should hit that notification bell and all the things.
All the things.
All the things. And
Well,
check
thank
out.
you for showing us this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Until next time.
Until next time. Bye, guys.